game came out called Far Cry, and now, of course, because 10 years have passed, we need some kind of anniversary edition. We're talking about Far Cry Classic today.
Bring it on!
Ubisoft has gone in and adjusted a few things graphically, so it does look quite nice, but it still looks quite dated as well, especially when you look at character models, you look at the way characters move. In this, it's like, oh, you don't really care about these guys who are running around, and you don't really feel threatened by them because they're just these blocky monstrosities with acting. We're gonna get him.
If you see him, call me at once. Am I understood? Yes, sir.
I personally wouldn't invest in this game. It's $10 on its own. I would honestly, it's okay. It's okay. That's fine for sure. But when I know a different bundle has come out with better Far Cries in it, I'm just gonna spend the $40 on those 3 games because those 3 games also come with all the DLC and plus the multiplayer as well. Like, I would just do that over this one.
Good point. Keep talking.
What's interesting about looking back at Far Cry now, it's been a long time since I played this, but just looking at how much of Far Cry is still in the Far Cry franchise. There's that whole thing of taking out an enemy camp and taking out the alarm so they can't sound the alarm, and stealing their vehicle, or blowing up a bunch of stuff and running up a cliff and jumping on a hang glider. Ubisoft has kept these Far Cry tropes now in the franchise, and in recent editions like Far Cry 3, there was such a thrill. Like, you feel exhilarated when you're doing this, and in Far Cry now it just feels like it doesn't feel as exciting to me. It's like, oh, you know, it's like I've done this before with much better graphics, with much better acting, and just the feel of Far Cry is so much better now than it was before.
Now I gotcha. You want more of this? I got more of this.
I'm really happy that we got to review this game because I didn't actually play the original Far Cry, but there's no way that I'm going to recommend this game for people that want an amazing Far Cry experience because the graphics are super muddy comparing to everything else. And just, I mean, looking at the water sometimes, how the frame rate would drop and it would just be so flickery.
Back when Far Cry came out, you would upgrade your video card just so you can see how awesome the water looks. And I think the water in the Xbox 360 and PS3 version looks crazy good, but nowhere near as good as water looks now in video games.
I guess I've just been spoiled.
Yeah, we've definitely been spoiled for sure. I'm not saying we haven't, but looking back on it, and even just the way this controls, Jack Carver feels like such a bulky dude wandering around. Sometimes it felt like he was just leaning off to the side for some reason. It was really, really iffy, these controls.
Oh, I know, and driving the vehicles, that was not satisfying at all.
Vehicle driving is terrible in this game. If you're playing this on a console, like, don't even bother. Well, I mean, you have to steal vehicles as part of the story.
You have to. It's part of the missions. You have to go do it, and you have to.
But there's no feeling. It's like, it doesn't feel like
you're even in the car at all. I know. You're just kind of like floating on top of it. There was a lot of things that were not satisfying in this game, and so for that reason, I can't recommend it. Sean, what are you scoring Far Cry Classic?
I'm gonna give this one a 7.5.
Get the 6 from me.